Uh, it, yeah, it's about right. Everything else was kind of a struggle.
Everything else is a struggle. How's everybody else feeling tonight? Tonight's the night where you get to talk.
Cold. We're feeling cold.
Well, didn't you just get back from California? No,
No,
you weren't there?
no,
I thought you went out there too.
no. I have
Right.
FOMO, but no, I wasn't there.
You went through that this weekend too?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It was rough. The FOMO, I don't often get it, and I had it like ridiculously this time. I didn't have it during Halloween. I say that, but also during Halloween, I looked up until like 6 days prior getting a last minute bib. My
One of my one of my friends who does wine and dine with me, she's going out for Halloween. We have a wing fest, the International Chicken Wing Festival. And that concludes on a Monday. She is flying out Thursday, doing Halloween, coming home Sunday, and then we leave Wednesday for Iceland. So I can't do
sounds
that.
exhausting. That sounds exhausting. It's not.
Especially after Wingfest, because that's crazy.
Yeah. No fun. How's everybody else doing? Tonight is like open forum. I had very few questions come in. So nobody sent me a lot of questions. I mean, I can jump into those and cover them and then open the floor for more. But if you got some, throw them my way, throw them in the chat. What's up, Colton? I haven't seen you in a while. Where is he? Let him talk.
Hello.
How you been, man?
Good.
When's your next race?
I don't know. September. September?
Do you realize this is more words than you said to me when you met me in person at Springtime Surprise? I felt like a celebrity. You froze up. And now he's quiet. You got
There
a
it is. Yep.
rock shirt on?
Yeah. Always.
That we're in alignment there. They cut them good.
All right.
Oh, Matt's got one on too. They could. Did you ever hear? I don't know, you might have seen it on my social media. I got told I couldn't wear that in the gym because I suffered a nip slip.
Oh no.
And yeah, because they're cut very, very close. And we were we were on the brink of a hurricane. And I had the bright idea. I found the one gym in Orlando that was open until noon before the hurricane. Everything else had already closed. I was like, I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna drive 30 minutes. I got there and they were like, yeah, you can't wear that in here.
Yeah.
That was my story.
Did you still have the oh my goodness moment where you're like, oh, gotta cover it up?
Well, they ended up giving me a shirt.
Oh gosh.
We have
What if you had on like cakes or something?
had on what?
Cakes. The women know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That's right.
I don't know what a
Pasty,
cake is.
like a cakes are what you
Like
can
a
wear
pasty?
for women that cover the nipple.
I will
I have no experience with those,
put
so
stuff on there.
Just slap some KT tape on it.
yeah,
Oh
I
God,
didn't have any of that
no.
on me.
Absolutely not. Whose idea was it? Who thought that that would be a good idea? Have you ever tried to remove KT tape?
Some people enjoy that.
I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum.
You can get the extreme with the extra adhesive. That's really good.
Oh my God. How we feeling tonight, Lance?
Life is good, man. About to go fence. So
About to go fence? You shifted your schedule around?
yeah. Oh,
All right, good. Means you're working out on a Saturday this week.
Well, shouldn't we be doing that anyway?
Yeah, we're gonna allow it. We're gonna allow it. That means I'm gonna open actually tonight with because I was listening to a really good like. Sometimes I get bored of the music I'm listening to, so I go on YouTube and look up like motivational kind of speeches, but to music while I work out with because I woke up way too early and I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of drag assing and I had a pretty slacking workout yesterday and I wanted a good one, and it like jacked me up, and it was like guy was just talking about what's the most important thing on your fitness, like on your journey. We're going to relate it to fitness. We're going to mute Karen first. But what's the most important thing? Like, what will make the most difference? Is it, I don't want to give them all away because I'm going to say, I'm going to throw them in the, let me know which one in the chat you think is most important. So it was like discipline, motivation, things like that. What do you think sets you apart, in reaching your goal? Throw it in the chat or yell it out loud.
Did you take the dog out?
We didn't take the dog out. So y'all got quiet.
I don't have a dog to take out.
Good. Lance said preparation. What's getting prepared look like for you, Lance?
Having stuff ready to go to eat, so I'm not grazing through all the crap they keep at the office. So
Okay.
that's a big part of it.
Ooh. Monica, discipline. I feel like you don't have a problem with discipline, Monica.
No, I don't think so. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, whether I want to do it or not.
You just give me that vibe that you're all in type of person. I'll take that.
100.
Internal motivation. I like that one. I was not expecting mental toughness. Mental toughness. What makes you mentally tough, Debbie?
I mean, just the fact that it's going to be hard, but you can push through it because you've done hard things. That's like your thing, do hard things, but just mentally tough. Like, I'm going to finish this, no matter if I have to modify or do something different. Like, it's just going to be done.
Anybody ever listen to David Goggins? He's a little crazy. He's a lot of crazy.
I have.
He's Monica's favorite. I'm not shocked he's your favorite. A little background on him. He was what, like 300 pounds and wanted to be a Navy SEAL. I think he was working like in pest control and was like, no, I want to be a Navy SEAL. And they basically told him, you're fat, you're black, and you're negative buoyant. It's not going to happen. You'll never be a Navy SEAL. And he just poured his life into being the toughest, mentally strongest Navy SEAL. Now he does 100-milers and like probably more than 100-milers. And he talked about the first one. I don't know, he shattered his foot or something on it. Like, and he's like, I just kept going. I just had to keep going. Foot was going to be broken otherwise. And I just had to keep pushing through. I was not about Can't Hurt Me is a great audiobook by him. That's one of my favorites. But he's like the definition of mental toughness. And I love all of his stuff. Just motivates the hell out of me. That's one of the ones, like when I listen to those motivational things instead of music while I'm working out, that I'm just like, I am fired. I am absolutely fired up and ready to go. And then I probably look like a crazy person when I'm in the gym. What else did he do? He worked with a guy. My first exposure to him was, anybody ever heard of Jesse Itzler? Jesse Itzler's like, oh, Aubrey says she loves him too. Not as many people probably heard of him, but I saw him present at a conference, and he had just wrote a book called Living with the SEAL. And it's nice to have multi-millions of dollars because he just invited, or actually he kind of had to beg David Goggins to come live with him. Begged him to come live with him and said, I want you to just put me through the ringer and see if I could survive. And like within 12 hours, he was broken, but he stuck with it for, I think, 30 days. But if you haven't heard of Jesse Itzler, his wife owns Spanx. So I'm sure a lot of people have heard of Spanx. And he started NetJets. That was his big thing that got him going. But yeah, he lived with this lunatic for 30 days. That's another really good book, Living with the SEAL. And back on track. Mental stuff. Temptation. Leslie, what's with the temptation?
Oh, sorry, I was trying to unmute. I think just being tempted, like when you're, trying to like live your life, but trying to do this stuff also, like you're going out to eat and there's temptation like desserts and people that maybe aren't watching as closely as you or aren't doing, the meal planning that you are. And, I think just those things in general, especially when, you're at the store and there's now like Easter candy and Valentine's Day candy and, just like temptations coming at you from like all sides. Sometimes it's hard not to indulge yourself, which I know is okay in moderation, but that's something that I sometimes personally struggle with.
You put the key word onto it. Moderation. the all or nothing mentality. It's like that's unless you're trying to step on a competitive stage or hit a crazy PR, like then you don't need the all or nothing. So that's how I think the last challenge I told people give themselves grace was one of our mottos for the last one. Give yourself grace. Life is never perfect. Like I did a I did a what I guess it was like an educational fitness conference today, and I knew we were gonna work out, and I just decided I knew we were working out at 1:30, and I just couldn't sleep again. And I was like, I'm gonna go do my workout at 5 o'clock in the morning, and this other one's just gonna be a bonus on top. And then I started dragging at like 11 a.m. So I was like, I'm gonna go to Starbucks. Do I get the black coffee or do I get the venti vanilla sweet cream cold brew? And I was like, you know what? I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Let's go in on the 260 calories of sugar. Like, and I was kind of jogging myself because my diet's been so on track. And then I'm like, wait, I'm about to go do a second workout of the day. I don't do that normally. Like, there's no need. Enjoy Easter. Enjoy Easter. Give yourself a little break. It's just, I think more so in the season we just passed, where people, it starts on Halloween. I see Colton on the call. I see Matt's little one, and they come home with all this candy. Then you have a little bit, and you're like, all right, well, let's loosen the belt buckle a little bit. Thanksgiving's coming, and then well, that just extends to Christmas. And Thanksgiving's what a terrible holiday because it's on a Thursday. So you just jack up on Thanksgiving. You're like, well, I'll just screw up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and go crazy. And then that leads into December, and you're like, bam, I'm just gonna go ham until January. And that's why I tend to do these on January and get people back on track. Let's see what else we got in there. Consistency, determination. Oh, Jenny, I love determination. I watched you be determined to run your first marathon, and you did 2 within a month. Badass. 2 within a month on our first one. Hopefully the headphones are on and Colton doesn't hear me curse. Oh, they're not on because Colton said motivation. Jumping back, boom, boom, boom. Oh, that was the other thing, Matt. David Goggins held the I don't know if he still does. He held the world record for pull-ups in 24 hours. And listening to him, one of the things I listen to, it's like a DJ that takes his quotes and just blends them into music. It's called Akira the Don, and it's Taking Souls. It's like a 3-minute little music thing where you hear David Goggins kind of screaming at you while you work out. Gets me going. But he starts talking on this, and from another thing they pulled it from, he starts talking about setting out to hit the world record for pull-ups in 24 hours. And he's like, well, the world record was this. It was 4,200 pull-ups. So I started doing the math. There's 24 hours in a day. That means there's this many minutes in an hour. That means I have to do 6 pull-ups every minute. I get this much rest. And he just like chomped it down in a 4,200 pull-ups. Seems imaginable to even think about from somebody that like loves to work out. And he's just like, I just chomped it up and I started doing the math and bam. And he hit it. So another fun thing about Goggins.
I mean, he also talks about like mental study and trying to do the same thing with his mental state and learn. He says he like, struggles learning. So like does the same thing. He was
I don't know, it was ADHD or dyslexic. I believe he might have been dyslexic because he failed the written exam for the SEALs twice, and I don't think you're allowed to fail it a third time. I think once you fail the third time, they're like, you're out. You're done. I gotta go read more Goggins books.
Yeah. He says he loves to put himself like he wants to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Like he loves the challenge of putting himself in the things that he doesn't want to do. And it was his ankle that he broke.
It was an ankle. Are you being my Google hawk right now?
No, I'm sure someone's probably doing a better job at it, but Goggins is like, stay hard. Like, you got to love.
He wrote Living with a Monk, too. I didn't read that one. Listen, motivation is so personal, but you might look into light therapy. I'm going to get back. That looked like a big question, Michelle, so I didn't forget to get there. I'm going to go back up after I cover all of these fun ones. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I think that new world record is 9,250. Oh, he better get his butt back to work. That's insane. That is absolutely nuts. That's crazy. For me, it's consistency. That's like why I get automatically woken up at 5 a.m. The mental alarm goes off and it's like, this is just part of my day. I find motivation tends to be waning. Like you'd be motivated, you're focused on a goal, and then that motivation dies. But when it becomes a habit and it's just like, all right, this is part of my day, where I'm like, all right, this hours for me. This is my whole in the zone hour. And then everything else, we go worry about the rest of the world after that. So for me, it's consistency, but find that thing that keeps you going, find the thing that keeps you motivated, and just stay consistent, stay determined, stay disciplined, and stay on point. Now let's go back to Michelle's question. Seasonal affective disorder. We're dead in winter with dark at 5 p.m. I go to HIIT classes 2 times a week, run on my run days, but it's too cold outside and unsafe from snow and ice. How do you guys stay motivated when you want to run outside? Because treadmill and track is killing me, but it's just not safe. Why is the treadmill and track killing you? Boring?
I would say it's just like it's straight up boredom. Like I'll even try to change it up. So like I'll do X amount of miles on the treadmill and then I'll just get off the treadmill and I'll do some laps on the track. But it's just like it's when I'm running outside, I can go up this street, down this street, up this direction, down that direction. If I'm tired of it, I'm gonna go a different way. Like, and when you're on the track or the treadmill, it's just here it is. I'm moving forward. There's no turns. There's nothing to look at. Like,
so you need variety. What do you listen to while you run on the treadmill?
So somebody said podcast. I don't really do podcast. I do love audiobooks. If I'm out for a long run outside, I love audiobooks. But if I'm on the treadmill, I tend to watch Disney food blog. And all
That'll keep you going.
I love
It'll make you
watching
hungry.
I love the DFP guide while I'm on the treadmill.
What about if you have the Peloton app? Because I've been on the treadmill since Disney Marathon because Massachusetts is cold and icy.
It's cold and icy, yeah.
Yeah, and I've been using the running app on Peloton, and for whatever reason, watching somebody run and tell me what to do and basically yell at me to music makes it go by so much faster. And it's the weirdest thing because I felt the same as you, like with music or whatever, it was boring. I hated it. And for some reason, people on a treadmill talking to me and to music and making me do different things, like, go this speed, go that speed, all that stuff. It makes it go by quicker for some reason. So if you don't have the Peloton app, it might be something to look into.
Is the Peloton app free or is that you pay by month? Because I'm already paying for classes. Yeah. So
you pay by month, but there's got to be something.
I'm sure there's like
there.
There's got to be like free YouTube.
Yeah,
something.
I would look
something.
into it.
That's a good thing to look up there because it's like the mundane. Like I love running outside, and
I do too. I'm devastated right now because I've never been on the treadmill this long, and it's just been so cold and dangerous outside. And I'm running in the dark at 6 a.m. So
see, I don't mind running in the dark because when the weather's nice, I actually get up at 4:30.
Yeah,
and I do.
You like me?
I leave for work. There's not enough time. The wide isn't open until 5. So there's not enough time in the morning for me to get a run and then get a shower and then get to work. So that's why when the weather's nice, I can run outside at 4 a.m. and it's totally fine.
Well, and you don't have to worry about ice in good weather because that's always my struggle. Running in the dark in the winter, you don't know what you're running on. So
and I swear by Yak Tracks. Like anyone who's ever lived anywhere where there's ice, we swear by Yak Tracks. But it's just still like, and it hurts. Like that cold weather when you're trying to breathe it in, it hurts.
Yeah.
I do not miss that. You just do what I did and
move.
Pack your bags and move. It worked. I don't have to deal with any of that. anymore, except when marathon weekend decides to be disrespectful.
Oh my God, it
I
was
mean,
so
it's
it was so
it's a
rude this year.
it's a little hard to pack your bags and move when you're specialized and you own a family business. So
Yep.
That'll do it.
so unless anyone wants to hire my husband, that would be great. He would prefer Moab. So if anyone out there is in the Moab, Tropic, Utah area,
We'll keep our eyes and ears open. That's for me. I cannot listen to because in Florida, I mean, we get the opposite. It gets too damn hot in the middle of the summer, which is when dopey training starts getting going. And I'm like, if I don't, I can get up and go for the runs at 5 a.m. and beat the heat.
Mhm.
You know, I was about to point to the other room. She might be on the call because she's been doing that lately. But there's somebody else in the house that ain't getting up at 5 a.m. and going, you know, for a run outside. And I wouldn't actually want her. I've heard some stories. Gators out on the road, and then we've had a couple crazies in the area that have.
Florida man lives out there.
We're all over the place, Florida man. He's wild, but we go to do the treadmill, and I cannot listen to an audiobook. I lose focus when I'm running, and I just can't stay in on it. I can listen to podcasts, but like a good movie, I will lose track because movies are just like my distraction in general. If I and I tried doing it on the phone, I started bringing the iPad recently because I'm doing like longer stuff on the treadmill and just posting it up there, and I'm like, all right. And that keeps me.
There's a one treadmill at the Y that you can send your phone. You can send your phone image to the big screen if you're lucky to get that one treadmill.
There's things on Amazon too where you can like attach your iPad to the tread. Like if there's no way to seat it properly, it's like a $20 hook on Amazon that you could just put on there. But that's where I zone in on a movie. This morning at 5 a.m., I could not find anything to watch and just started watching the movie Roadhouse and the new one. I was like, oh, Jake Gyllenhaal, Conor McGregor. All right. When those two got on the screen, I think that was probably the reason I ended up having a phenomenal workout because Jake Gyllenhaal came in lean and shredded to that movie. Conor McGregor, the lunatic he is, and I was just like, I want to get off this treadmill and I'm ready to go lift things up. And I was supposed to have an easy day today. And I was like, nope, we're just going to go have some fun now with these weights. Might have went overboard. But yeah, find some. And when do you get weather change? When's it start getting a little better?
June.
No, you'll be fine in April, Kate.
Yeah, no, I mean, it all depends on what March could be crappy or it might be fine. So we'll see.
Kate, am I correct in saying you're going to be here in 3.5 weeks?
Yeah. Yeah. For Best Damn Race.
You're coming with Joe, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Joe tell you what I messaged him yesterday?
No. What'd he say?
He's been posting all these weightlifting pictures of himself.
Oh, yeah.
I know you guys are going to Park Pizza. So I said, you should come to my gym with me. And then he said, don't kill me. And I sent him the picture of Ivan Drago from Rocky IV that said, I must break you. So I'm trying to orchestrate that.
I like that.
Karen recommends light therapy. That is something I never thought of doing for that particular thing, Michelle, but that's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea to mess with the light therapy.
So I have to be very careful with any type of like light therapy. I have to make sure that it is completely like the UV safe one because I used to tan like we all did and yay, cancer sucks. So so I have to be really, really careful with any type of
Don't buy a cheap one on Amazon then. Forget I recommended that.
Oh no, I wish like when I was like a million years ago when I was going to the tanning booth every day, winter didn't matter. It was great because it's 15 minutes of just blazing light and it was glorious. And I miss it.
I'm a sun god. I try to be in the sun as much as I can. I'm gonna regret that when I have the Florida leather skin.
I'm like, we're Icelandic, so
yeah. Ooh, Amy watches old run Disney routes. Angela Angela's been streaming Bones lately. I go through series on Netflix. That gets me through. If it's not a movie, it's a series on Netflix. Maybe a screen with changing landscapes.
I think that's a good one. I do watch other people running at Disney. Manny always does the full 10K, so that's at least a solid hour that I can get. But yeah.
But
I'll give some Hulu tips out here too. Yeah, it just gets so boring.
the gym my wife and I go to, that they have what Monica's talking about, the treadmill where you can watch race courses. And I didn't even realize they have rowers there too. I've never used their rowers, but there was a guy who plugged his phone. It's got a clip on it, and he plugged his phone into the top of the rower the other day, and it had a rowing route that he was watching like some Olympic rowing thing, and he was rowing along with it. And I'm like, that is genius. Like it gives you just a little something to take your mind off it. Was It won't be winter long. You'll be fine. You're gonna make it. Discipline and consistency. That's what you need now.
Taking over Kilimanjaro safaris, and I brought a friend.
Who's what? What? I heard Kilimanjaro
Sorry.
safaris.
It's
Don't
Josh
worry.
Gad.
I'm gonna pick on you soon, Krista. Jurassic World is great for running. I like to imagine I'm running for Angela. You on one tonight? Peloton classes fly by. Workout partner. Blank
Jurassic Park is absolutely one of my go-tos, including both books on audiobook.
Did the groundhog see his shadow? Oh my God. Jurassic Park, some good stuff. And they're making a new one. Oh my God.
Yes, the groundhog saw its shadow. We have 6 more weeks.
Depends on which groundhog you watch. There were 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
There is only one groundhog. Okay.
No, there's General Beauregard Lee.
Well,
no, there are. I mean, there might be more, but
he's in
only
Atlanta and
follow
he saw
one
his
person.
shadow too.
There's only
Punxsutawney
one
Phil.
that
He's the only one.
matters.
Yeah, he saw his
No.
shadow. Yeah.
Punxsutawney Phil is the only one that matters.
Yeah,
I'm a
and
good
he saw
Southern
his
boy.
shadow.
General
Oh my God.
Beauregard Lee.
Larry, you've been quiet. You getting rowdy again. General
Larry
Beauregard.
has we can talk later. Larry's been dealing with stuff.
Oh my God, Larry. Well, I'm glad to have you on. I'm glad I'm gonna start calling you General Beauregard Larry.
Thank you.
I like it. Other questions I got sent to me before we get way off track. We can get a little off track. It's fun. Other questions I had sent to me. Season asked, and she wanted me to make Season also great. If you guys are going to send me questions, I love to dive deep into them. So give me more than Season. What time did you message me? 6:20. She messaged me at 6:20 right before the 6:30 call and said, Can you discuss bro terms? Is she here? Or did she disappear? She'd be quiet.
Vocabulary.
Oh yeah, she said she needs work on the brocabulary. The brocabulary of the gym. And as I got this ready, she referred to herself as a genius. But yeah. So she wanted me to go over some vocabulary you might hear, and that actually goes with somebody else's question because I put AMRAP on their workout and it didn't show up in the notes that I left what AMRAP means. Does anyone know what that one means?
AMRAP.
As many
reps as possible.
Yeah, as many reps as possible. Yeah.
As many reps as possible. As many reps as possible.
Nope.
Hi.
That's Grace.
Hi, Grace. How are you tonight?
She can't hear you because you're in my head.
Oh.
Hang on.
She didn't hear me, but she
Now-
definitely waved.
Oh
And I-
yeah, she totally waves.
All right. So as many reps as possible for AMRAP. That's one you'll see primarily on like something where form's not going to break down too much, like a sit up. So sit up form tends to break down a little less. Your abs are going to give out before you're going to seriously injure something. Other ones that she had on here. This was the one she wanted to know what DOMS was. No one else.
Delayed onset muscle soreness.
Delayed onset muscle soreness. So you leave the gym, you feel fine, Season, and then tomorrow the awfulness happens. Everything hurts and you're dying. I feel like is Kat on here? Kat could write me a book on DOMs. Kat is the DOMs queen. She always gets them. I mean, she's lifting heavy. You can kind of if you get that consistently, it's okay to dial back a little bit. Like let your muscle adapt. You don't want to push to the point of pain ever, but delayed onset muscle soreness is not it's not fun. I got that going on in the legs right now. Which other
Isn't
one?
that just life after 30?
Yes. Yes.
That might be
Yeah.
more joint related, not muscle.
Yeah. Shin splints. Season, you needed shin splints on there. That's
I
that
know what they are, but what I'm saying is
you want the
before
vocabulary guide.
before the challenge, some people might not know what some of these things are.
I feel you. Yeah, shin splints are not fun. I feel like most of us know what they are. If you don't, I pray you never do. It is that sharp, nasty pain when you run, and it is not fun for anybody. I, I gotta go. I just
I
keep having to
know.
go through the list.
I misspelled it. I know.
See if I have any of my running coach friends on here that I work with. I don't believe so. Season wants to know what a fartlek is. And that's exactly how she spelt it. Fartlek. It is actually
Wow.
it is actually spelled fartlek. Fartlek, Miss Season. Did you do that purposely?
Maybe.
Oh my God. I'm not surprised.
She totally did. You know she totally did.
And I'm mildly familiar with fartleks, and I did Google to find better direction here. It is a Swedish term for your dirty mind, Season. Were you looking it up, Aubrey, or are you studying too?
No, I'm scrubbing charts while you're talking, but I do know what it is.
It's a Swedish term. It means speed play, a running workout that involves alternating between periods of fast running and slower recovery jogging. So it's just endurance training mixed in with speed training, picking up the pace and going a little crazy. And then bringing it on in. Leslie didn't know what DOMS was either. Does anybody else have any like fitness words? You're like, what the hell does that mean? Or nutrition words? You're like, I have no idea what that
I'll
means.
bet they do. They're just embarrassed to ask.
Don't be embarrassed. That's what I'm here for. Just ask them and I'll throw them in there. No, there's no shame in it. Let's see. I wonder if any other common ones. See, if you had sent me this earlier, I would have been able to do more research before and like find 1RM. Anyone know what that one is?
1 rep max.
I knew you would know that one. It was either going to be you or Ryan who got that one right. You or Ryan would have gotten that in a heartbeat. You love the one rep max. Active recovery, that's a good one. That is just like staying moving. I swear I must get like 4 or 5 thousand steps when I go to a gym because I don't like to sit on my phone. I don't like to sit on my phone and just do nothing. All right, I'm just gonna do a quick lap around. I throw my towel on something, do a quick lap, wait for the minute to come up, and then bam, grab it again. But I like to just stay moving and grooving. So just staying a little bit active while not gassing yourself. I pulled up a whole list of terms people might not know. You know the difference between aerobic exercise and anaerobic exercise?
What fuel source your body's utilizing?
What does your body work with
Anaerobic is without oxygen.
Oxygen.
without oxygen? So both are very valuable. Both are valuable, different energy pathways, different challenge on the body. Anaerobic is generally going to be considered in that 84% of your heart rate or higher. Almost 84% of your max heart rate and higher, I should say, is going to be those anaerobic zones. So if you've ever done heart rate training, the two highest ones, the orange and the red, those are going to be your anaerobic. Green and blue are going to be more aerobic, where you're working with oxygen and you can sustain them longer. Let's see. I don't really program circuits, which you might see in some of the on-demand ones, which are just it's going through all 10 exercises. If you have a short amount of time, that's good. Like 10 reps of a leg exercise, 10 reps of a chest exercise, 10 reps of a shoulder exercise, 10 reps of a back exercise. Because you're working different muscle groups, you don't need as much recovery in between. And you take a breather between the circuit and do another one if you got time, but they're just quicker. Ooh, that's a good EMOM. I don't really program these, but it's always fun to, you might hear it somewhere. I'm going to bet Carissa knows what EMOM is.
Every minute on the minute. Yeah.
I pressed the
Aubrey had
wrong
it
button.
too.
I couldn't find my mute.
Aubrey had it too. Yes, every minute on the minute. So
Yeah.
it's just reps every minute on the minute. Supersets, some of you might see those in the program. That's just 2 exercises put together. So it's like doing a set of bicep curls immediately after doing a set of tricep extensions. They burn. They're fun. They're fun. I like those a lot. My arms feel them. RPE, that's a good one.
Rate of perceived exertion.
Ah,
I use that every day at work.
use that every day at work.
Mhm.
How do you describe that to somebody?
Um, just how hard a particular exercise feels to them, and we give a couple of examples. We use the modified Borg scale, and we just give our patients a little couple examples so they have kind of something to compare it to on how hard they feel they're working.
That's one. It's an interesting one because everybody's going to be different. Everybody's got a different tolerance level, and like a zero, a zero is a walk, like an easy walk, right? It's like Captain America. I could do this all day, but that's me. Somebody who's 500 pounds, that could be a 7 to them or an 8. Like they're walking to the kitchen right now is going to just kill them. So it's going to be a little different for everybody, but it's your perceived exertion. Your perceived exertion. I think that covers it on terms. If you come up with another term and you don't want to throw it in the chat, shoot it to me. I like covering stuff like that. Another question I got was why the hell am I doing shrugs? I don't want gigantic traps. They won't make your traps gigantic unless you're eating and lifting heavy enough to make them, but they improve the upper body strength, athletic performance, and that's that little muscle. When I say traps, it's that little muscle right there. And most importantly, I'm a big person on posture. I grew up the chubby kid who slouched in his chair and sat down like this and didn't want to be seen and get called, and I was just low. And then my shoulders were rolled forward. So a lot of back pain from when just poor posture as a kid. So traps are going to pull those shoulders back into the right position. They also stabilize the shoulders and the neck. So they're going to help that, help the posture, but alleviate some neck pain if we're doing them right, which that's another big one for me. A lot of people suffer from neck pain and it sucks. Somebody over there tells me all the time, I don't want big traps, so I'm doing these light, but also has neck pain a lot. So when I program her out, I give her a lot of shrugs. I try to squeeze them in there, but injury prevention, shoulder mobility, rotator cuffs, like a not fun one that anyone wants. Strong traps will help with that. And they kind of round everything out, They give you they're a good one. Body holds less. That's one of the places like the shoulder. I always tell people if you're new on your journey, watch the shoulder area first. That's one of the first places you tend to see the transformation, the weight loss, just because there's not a lot of fat deposits there. It's one of the last places fat will deposit. And much to everybody's hate, where's the last place fat likes to leave?
Belly.
The belly. The belly. It hates leaving there. So yeah, that's where the fun protective organs are. So it stays there, but shoulders, Shoulders, it kind of gets rid of first. That's where you'll notice the most progress early on. And like, no, I shouldn't even just say gentlemen, but people say I want my arms to look more toned. A lot of that can be an optical illusion by just having a little bit stronger shoulders. Just draws the visuals to it. I wouldn't say do shrugs light, Debbie, but you know, if you're not trying to grow them like crazy, then a little lighter, but not like crazy light. Don't do like knowing your workout history. I can say you probably shouldn't do 5 reps of them with like a 5 pounder. So feel it a little bit, but you don't need to kill them. You're not eating enough also to gain substantial muscle there. What other questions did I have tonight? Let's see. I had a couple more. I just going through things. I don't get any volunteers for the hot seat on this group. You all are concerning. Krista wants to go on the hot seat though.
I don't know about want to, but
You volunteered.
I did as tribute. I wasn't sure if anyone else had.
I think that's what you said. I volunteer as tribute.
I did.
My wife also volunteers me as tribute.
Let's see. We're gonna pick on Krista for now. Your wife, why should your wife volunteer you?
It's Rebecca. You've had a meeting with her once or
I'm
twice.
in the group too. I just always watch the YouTube video later because I've got too many kids.
I like how that's a you problem and not a Matt problem.
Right? I don't know.
Priorities are in order in this house, man. I'll watch the replay later. Oh, I like Carissa volunteered for halfway through. She wants the hot seat on the halfway through the challenge mark. Carissa, there's not enough seat. We're gonna need 4 hours for that call, girl. Ooh, she gonna yell at me now.
That's not fair. I'm lifting, so I'm not paying attention.
You're not paying attention? Is Colton lifting with you?
No, Joe just got home, so he's upstairs.
Joe? Joe needs to take your butt to Disney World.
I might be going on my own soon.
What are you coming down for?
Nothing. You'll find out.
Springtime surprise it is. She got real quiet there. I goat her into races. All right, let's take a look at Krista. Let's take a
Be
look.
gentle.
Be gentle. Remind me, when was you haven't weighed in 10 days, 11 days. So that throws me off.
Mm-hmm.
You will message me where we're at. I won't use any numbers and I won't share screen on this one.
I usually weigh on Saturday, so I was on a boat last Saturday, which is why I haven't weighed, and I don't want to see it yet.
That makes things tricky because I was going to use the fact that you were on a boat. I cover that in a second, JC. Like that, it says JC there. And you was going to use the fact that you were on the boat, but that's going to throw it off. So I knew she was on a cruise. I knew she was celebrating, so that was another reason I kind of picked her. Don't freak out about cruise weight going up. That is generally bloat. It is generally inflammation from things you don't normally eat. And I was hoping she showed me a spike there. But we did have a little early December, we'll call it. I'm only going to even look as far back as December 7th. We had a little spike. What happened between December 7th and January 4th?
Christmas stuff.
Christmas stuff, which we knew. It was a 10.3 spike, which is not on the crazy side of what I see during the holiday season. That is normal. And what's really telling, when did you get back on track?
Let's see. Well, yeah, right after the holiday.
I was gonna say, what'd you start doing differently January 4th? Say it.
Just my eating and
I know what you
not
started.
eating all the Christmas cookies.
We talked about that in another group call, what you started doing. So
Yeah.
between December 7th and January 4th, less than a month, went up 10.3 pounds. Between January 4th and January 11th, just cleaning up habits, she went down 5.1 of those pounds. So almost half of what she gained had already fallen off in 7 days' time just by fixing some habits. The reason that happens, you just heard her say holiday cookies, sweet sugars,
All of it.
all that stuff season makes and then makes us watch her cook while we're on these calls. So she had that inflammation clearing, all that stuff just cleared right back up. But then we went back up we bounced back up 1.7. Fill me in on that week of the 11th to the 18th.
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
No, I hadn't gone crazy with eating or anything.
If you see a 1.7 gain, that is not something I would ever freak out about for anybody. Not freak out about for anybody because it is so small. I can drink one of these and my coffee in the morning and that scale will register 1.7 higher. Just food in your system. If you weighed after a bowel movement or before a bowel movement or a potty break in the morning, they can throw that off. 1.7 inflammation, bloat, and I say that knowing that right by January 25th, she bounced right back down. It was almost even with what it was, or January 25th and January 11th were almost back to even. So now she went on a cruise and we have, what is it, 2 weeks of no data. What have you done different since the cruise? Have you gotten back on track?
Not eating dessert. Though, quite honestly, when I was on the cruise, I wasn't, other than the dessert every night, I didn't eat crazy. Like, my breakfasts were almost ridiculously healthy, except for the one day they had the churro waffles, because churro waffles. And
one of these days I'll go on a Disney cruise.
Yeah. And the dinners, a lot of the times I actually chose the vegetarian option or the chicken because those are basically the only two things I would eat.
All right. So not too
So
bad.
I could have been a lot more. I could have been a lot worse.
I'm curious to see what the weight's at now. Let's see. Do we pick on food? Pick on food. Yeah, let's pick on food. And I'm just going to pick a random date since she's back on track. Back on track with her tracking. So random date, that gives me Monday, February 3rd. Calories, we got her set right around 1834. She hit 1800, so real close. Protein was a little low, 24 grams. 24 grams low, but hit 135. 135 out of, no, wait. My goal was 135. She hit 111 there. That is within a 20% margin. It's not going to break the bank. 20% difference it isn't going to be enough unless you're consistently on a daily basis, 20% over where you should be. Carbs, the same thing. I don't even know how you got that close. 158 grams. Goal was 159, right on the nose. Fat's generally a lower number. 79 grams. You hit 70. Or you ate 79. Goal was 70. Again, we're close to that 20% range. So win there this week. I'm going to take all those. Now I got to pick apart what the food was.
Uh-oh.
Reasons why now let's imagine she gave me a weigh-in on Friday, this past Friday, and we are critiquing her food diary the following, let's say you weighed in on Friday, we're critiquing the next Friday. So we're going through all this stuff and dialing in like, okay, where do we have opportunities for things to be a little better? What are our options? What's our opportunity to be better? The numbers were so on the nose for her. If her scale went up this week and every day looked like exactly what I'm seeing now, I would know, we could know almost exactly why the scale went up. If we're imagining all the numbers she entered, perfect on point, and nothing changed. They started good, light string cheese. Next up, a Quate protein shake. So she's getting a little protein and fat from the string cheese, probably a little lighter fat since it's the light string cheese, and a little protein shake. Not bad. Peanuts, boom, half an ounce, 80 calories, perfect. Did you really count out 40 pieces of peanuts?
We weighed them.
We weighed them. Smart,
Mhm.
smart. Baked Believe semi-sweet chocolate chips. 1 tablespoon. I'm not even worried about that. It is 60 calories. If you need a little sweet, if you're like, again, I've talked about people that come into the new year and they're like, I got to cut all sweets, otherwise I'm going to go crazy. They're the ones that go in on sweets after the fact. So her having a tablespoon of semi-sweet chocolate chips, not something I'm even tripping about. Pineapple coconut. That's just a clear water drink. That's fine. A Gala apple, healthy. I like it. Oh, Chris, are you looking at this day with me?
Yeah. It
Here's
gets
where
worse though.
here's where I think things are gonna go a little off the rail. Let's cover the easy ones first. I'm gonna jump past your lunch and go into your dinner. But dinner, Jennie-O fresh ground turkey, 4 ounces, reduced fat feta, reduced fat Fiesta blend cheese, and avocado. Oh, beautiful, clean, good. A little fiber, sugar-free Reese's cup. Again, it's only 36 calories. I'm not worried about that. Where if her scale went up that week and all the numbers were perfect all week and nothing else going on hormonally, and we start looking, I see more days like this, my instant red flag for you would be your Panda Express string bean chicken breast, Panda Express fried rice, and maybe that McDonald's McChicken.
Oh, definitely.
Although I feel like that McDonald's McChicken is probably measured out better than Panda Express fried chicken. Who's my nutrition label person on the call? Are we here? I can't remember right now. I'm having a brain freeze. Who studies nutrition labels? I don't know if she's here. I don't want to remember after the call. I'm going to go back and do my homework. Only she's here. Does anyone know the margin of error that companies have when they give you nutrition?
Gosh. And there's so many inconsistencies between the person doling it out too.
Well, that was number two where I was going with this. There is a 20% margin of error for nutrition labels that they can get away with. That means if they say it has 200 calories, how many can it have in it really? Come on, math people.
Math.
240.
240. Thank you. It could actually go as high as 240. I knew that math. I was just making sure people are still paying attention because I have her screen open. I can't see anybody other than her screen. So making sure we're all still alive here. It could have 240 in there. We do that meal. And let's say it just happens. Boom. Let's say it happened on that fried rice, 310, the chicken breast, 210. We'll call it 520. We give them their 20%. So we're talking about, ooh, that's another 110 calories. If I did that math right. No, wait, I think so. We're close. We're close. Let's just call it 100. We got another 100 calories there. Now, you got little 15-year-old David working at the front desk or working with the scooper there, and he's got his AirPod in. He don't give a damn about you trying to get healthy. He may scoop heavy, he may scoop light. So you could go an extra. That 100 calories that is on Panda Express's nutrition label could go down because he was cheaping you out. Or he could take a look at me and be like, oh man, that's a big guy. I'm gonna load him up on this fried rice. This guy wants to eat. I'm gonna feed him up. That 100 could go easily another 200. We take that, we extrapolate it if we're doing same days. Let's just call it 5 days. 5 days of that, that's an extra 1,000 calories right there. That's why she's no longer in a deficit for the week and now is in that surplus. So that's if the scale wasn't moving the right direction, that'd be one of the first places I looked. And let's say you're really frozen on it and like you just can't. Can we look to, have one week where you just nail the numbers completely with more of the fresh ground turkey breast, more of the avocado, more of the peanuts, cocktail, all that stuff that you have a little more control over versus whatever I said his name was that was working at the front desk at Panda Express. Because I don't know how many times I order Chipotle a lot because I know I can get grilled, like a good grilled chicken in there. Chipotle, my blood pressure goes, I'll look in there and I'm like, they ain't put enough chicken in here. They did not. Then you get the double serving and it's the size of the regular. And I'm just like, oh my God. So I feel like I got robbed there. So that's just the like general thing I would be looking at the next day. I mean, you were a little better that next day. A little better that next day. But what you got to think for Panda Express? Tuesday, you were up on the veggie spring rolls.
Those are leftover. Both of those were leftovers from Sunday.
Ooh, leftovers. So you just adjusted the serving and figured it out from there? I should have started on Sunday.
Yeah, ish. I didn't write anything on Sunday, so that was off the boat day, so I didn't write anything down.
That'd be one of like so it's understanding you got off a boat, you didn't want to prep food, and you were just like Panda Express.
Yeah, we didn't.
Nothing
Yeah,
wrong
we
with
didn't
that.
have. We went to Epcot after too, so we weren't home very much.
You went to Epcot on Sunday?
Yeah, after getting off the boat, went right to Epcot.
I wasn't around. I wasn't around. It's okay. One day I'll run into you at Epcot. How do you go to Panda Express when you have all that Epcot food at your disposal?
We weren't there very long.
All right.
It was a little people-y for me, so I'm like, nope, let's go.
Festival of the Arts. The last thing I'm going to look at for Krista real quick is her workouts. You did your dumbbell bench press. I gave you rep range of 15 to 20. You got 12 out with 25. Then you got 13 out with 25. Then you got 14 out with 25. Then you got 15 out with 25. How'd you keep getting one more?
Trying to add more. That was barely a 15 that last.
It was barely a 15? That's okay.
Yep.
That's okay.
That was tough.
Right. For that, in that case, I would tell you based on like current goal, maybe scale it back to 20 and see if you can hit that. Start with the 20 on that bench press. You don't mind if I share this screen, do you?
Nope.
Since we're picking on you. Boom, boom, boom. Where's my share screen button? Share. I want to share. That's me. Boom. Let's take a look at her workout. And I'm hoping everybody can see that. We'd all see. So things I would switch up here. I would have maybe started with that 20 pounds there. If you got out the 20 reps, then maybe see how you feel. Maybe go up a little bit. If you don't think you're going to get it, bump it again or bump it up to that 25, see how many you can get out. But if you only got out like 12 on the second set, I would scale it back. Try to get closer on the rep range because you're going to get fatigued as you go. And you tend to did that through the workout. So a little shy on them, but you pushed the weight. That was exhausting.
Yeah. The incline one, especially.
They burned.
Yep. Feeling it today.
Oh, we'll allow it there. But yeah, I would play with your reps or play with your weights a little more. Maybe drop it a little bit. All right, 15. You only got 12 out. I would say let's scale it back on the next one and see if you can get closer to that 15 to 20 range. Have one set that breaks you down. Like, oh man, I only got 12 out. Awesome. Let me go back down to that 10 and see if I can squeak a couple more reps out. Just because you're trying to elicit a different type of effect on the muscle, a different type of stimulus. How'd the drop sets feel?
They were interesting. First time doing those. I hope I did it right.
Oh, and she has, yep. So she has, some of you might not have seen something like this yet, but drop sets. So this is set number one. All right, you took the 15-second rest?
Yep.
So she grabs those 15-pound weights. She does 10 reps, 15 seconds to breathe. And really, 15 seconds is enough time for her to put down one set, grab the others. She did the 10. She did the 10 pounds right below that. Went for her as many reps as possible. I like this because we talked about as many reps as possible. 15-second rest again. Dropped it down to the fives. You got 25 out. Next time you do this, I would try to start with like a 17 and a half or a 20 there. 15, 10. They must have burned.
Okay. They did.
They did. Good. That's what I like to hear. Same setup with the Arnold press. Same setup with the Arnold press where I would just adjust that weight a little bit. Maybe downward because I feel like your shoulders were really burning.
Yeah, and my left elbow was really, it's like there's an impingement or something going on in there.
Ew. And that's no fun. You're an interesting one because your reps climb as you go. Can you try to go for 15 reps next time?
Yep.
Try to go for 15 out the gate. I think it'll smoke you out a little more at the beginning. And we know you can do it. That's all I'm going to pick on for her workout. Give her little tips there. Because I know I had a couple more questions. All right. Michelle wants to do a hot seat. JC. I'm never going to hear that. Now I'm just going to refer to you as JC all the time. How often should we be weighing in? You can weigh in as much as you like. Everyone is different. Some people, that will make you a little bit of a mental patient. And I know I talked to Val, we talked about this, and I gave you an example. I think I gave you an example of somebody, that weighs in a lot. And you could weigh in 5 times a day. I can guarantee almost all of them will be different. If I need to have a day where I feel good about myself, the gym that I go to, the one that I drive to every once in a while, I'm 6 pounds lighter on their scale consistently. So if I don't feel good, I just go over there. If I'm having a bad day, we're just going to get on that scale. And then you're just gaming the system. But Daly's going to give a good look if we look at like the trend line. But if Daly drives you crazy, if seeing like, this might be tricky. I'm going to have to pick on somebody real quick. I'm going overtime tonight. That's okay. Boom, boom, boom. I know somebody who's been consistent and good, and I think hers jumps around a little bit. Let me see. You're probably going to know who you are when I share this one. So let me just get this on the screen so you don't see anybody's name, although you will probably know. This is you. Let's share again. I want to share that. Oh, hopefully it doesn't. Oh, there goes her name. Oops. Forget you saw her name. I picked on you because you have a nice chart. This is steady, 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 steady down. This is normal. This is normal to have a day where you go up and it's unexpected, like normal. Steady, 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 steady down. Oh, down, down, down. And like, look for the trend line. Look for the diagonal and make sure it's going, consistently in one direction. Bump ups, A-okay if you're weighing daily. Give yourself that permission to realize that your body is a very intricate machine designed to keep you alive, and it will go, it's going to have bump ups. Things happen. Ladies on the call, you're probably going to experience more bump ups than men. That's, generally every 4 weeks you can expect a week of bump up on your scale. It's a natural thing. It happens to everybody. Well, happens to the women on the call. Gentlemen, you don't have that problem, but you still get bloat and inflammation and all that other stuff that can affect on it. I would say at least 3 days. I do 1 day a week unless I'm really, really tracking. Unless you're 55. Thank you, Jenny. But right now, I'm like really honed in. I'm doing every day a week, every day of the week. And then three, I find is a healthy number where you're not going to go crazy. There is no like 100% correct answer. And when I work like one-on-one with somebody, I really like to figure out their psyche. If you have a terrible relationship with the scale, me telling you to weigh in every day is going to ruin your life. You're going to see it go up by 0.1 and you're just going to be like, oh no, look, we just want to see a trend go down at that point. So everybody's a little different. We're going to put you on a hot seat before time runs out, Kate. I'm going to get you on there. I want to do the Cruise to Castaway too, Lance. We'll get there. Most expensive 5K. If we are going over on one macro over the other, is it best to go over on protein? I would say so. And sometimes when you take in too much protein, it's harder to get in enough fats. Harder to get in enough fats or carbs just because you get full on protein faster. So if you're going to go over on one, I like it being the protein. If you got a long run tomorrow, maybe go a little higher on the carb. Does anyone have a favorite home scale? Don't read in too much on the ones that try to sell you body weight or body fat. Those will also drive you crazy. They technically, most of those work off measuring water in the body by bioelectrical impedance, and it's not the best. It's not the best metric there. Getting an accurate body fat measure is a little tricky. Calipers work best for that. The in-body scale is a little closer, but I've found that those are very easy to game the system as well. I've been able to manipulate my body fat 8% over the course of a day, multiple times in that 8% range, just by giving it different stimuluses, because I'm a nerd like that and I like to test things out. So really, they can submerge you in water at a university, and that's the best way to actually test it. That'll give you the most accurate reading, but I don't like the scales that you get on Amazon that do it. So just find one that's consistent and maybe one that uploads to your phone, because we're just tied to those things now. And yeah, it makes life simple. Renpho, Garmin scale. Garmin works with the watch. I like it. What should we talk about on Monday? This is the poll time before we go and I eat my chicken. It's got a request.
Are there options to choose from?
Well, we did supplement coverage the other day. I think I put nutrition. What else did I put as the other option there? I did nutrition. What was my option? See, I put it in the chat. I gotta go back and look. Y'all are so quiet. It's a good thing I drank that sugary coffee at 1 o'clock. Keep me chatting. Boom, boom. Let me see where I put my.
Yeah, that's a good one she just put up there, was nutrition up through and during races, and then recovery.
Nutrition leading up to races and recovery. We could do that. Maybe like workout fueling. Maybe we had fasting as one of the other questions. So I can mix fasting in, because I don't think we'll need a full thing on nutrition leading up to a race. So maybe I'll do nutrition for fueling for a race, fasting, and two other ones that I have in the pipeline are hormones and recovery. So if that's something that tickles your fancy and you want to hear more about hormones or more about recovery, let me know and I'll expedite that call. That way you have time to come up with questions. Cool.
Hey, one other thing that if you thought about covering is there's like those different recovery type devices. Like there's the compression sleeves for your legs, and there's like the red light, all those different things. If you have any thoughts on those
that's going to be a big part of the recovery one.
Okay.
And there's a closet like 6 feet away from me that has every flipping tool you can imagine. And I still cause problems on Black Friday and start looking at things I don't need. My latest one I'm looking at is a Kineon Move Pro, and I cannot justify spending $400 for a laser that goes around my knee. But look that one up, the Kineon Move Pro. My birthday is April 25th, if anybody's feeling fancy. Any On Move Pro.
Well, yeah, it's only $400, right?
Don't worry. If you give them your email, they'll send you 17 emails a day that you can get 33% off.
Wow, it's almost like this Tom Stokes guy who keeps wanting me to sign up for my metabolic profile.
Yeah, you better do it, man. A lot of time
This
writing.
is the guy who literally spun the wheel for thousands of dollars. Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting on my Wheel of Fortune check. Then I'm buying myself a present.
I'm waiting on my check too.
Have you been on the wheel?
No.
You need to go on the wheel. I'm waiting for it. 4-month waiting time. We aired December 12th. That means I'm looking at springtime surprise spirit jerseys already.
I heard around after the 10 miler. That's what I just heard.
What?
I heard you, just in time for springtime for you to buy everybody around after the 10 miler.
I heard
Did
that.
I hear that on the Rise and
yeah,
Run
I did
podcast?
hear
Because
that.
I'm pretty sure I heard that too.
I could do that. I mean, we could do that. We could do that. Denise just went straight for buying her new shoes. I'm gonna need a sugar daddy. Oh, y'all crazy.
Hey, aren't they releasing the Run Disney Brooks shoes, you know?
Yeah. Well, I definitely need to. Thank God I didn't try to plan a meetup at Marathon because I was just not built for that cold. But at Springtime Surprise, hell yeah, we get together. Nothing like, having people on a fitness journey and supplying them alcohol.
Please save mine for Wine and Dine. Thank you.
I'll see you at Wine and Dine. You gonna make me another gift?
I would love to. Oh, I've been working on my other gifts already.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, I gotta sign up for that tonight.
What? No.
Wine and Dine.
Oh, your club.
I'm perfect.
You're perfect.
Full
Must be
flex,
nice.
bro.
Must be nice. All right, I'm off to dinner. I'll post the replay. I mean, you're all here, so you don't need to see the replay. But for those that are slacking, I'm going to trim this part out and judge them. I'll see you all on Monday.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.